tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, we're here doing another after show for Project Runway. We got season 13, episode 8. We have a Rainway.
Oh yeah.
Woo, woo.
What? Is that
I
rain?
am your host Stef Z, and tonight we mixed it up a little bit. Who we got tonight?
Hey guys, it's Virginia.
Amanda Fields Bennett.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna right away go out, throw down the gauntlet as Virginia spills her drink that she didn't want, and say that this by far has been the coolest Rainway ever.
Yes.
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 I totally
Agreed?
agree.
Agreed.
Such a good episode. We needed a good episode like this. I feel like we were like, not that we were getting bored, but we were, you know, how we were talking.
No, we were
mood-
getting bored.
A little bit, yeah. But it was, you know, there was nothing really to talk about a lot. There was, you know, we always had the outfits to discuss, but the actual show and the concept was like, oh, okay, cool, another red carpet. But like it really made me excited about this challenge.
This season has already had like 3 evening gown challenges, so it was like, okay, another evening gown. Like mix it up a little bit. Project
Amanda's
Runway.
bored over here.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Not
anymore.
No. So again, it's infamous, this show, for the product placement. I don't know that I've seen another show that does it like this show. So it's great. They have great partnerships. But you know, Tim and Heidi walk out to address the contestants, the designers, and they said they're gonna test the ability for boundaries with design, and like apparently it's coinciding with this Samsung, who has this new curved television, which is pretty cool. I have to give it up. It's a pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. When they started talking about technology, though, I thought they were going to start talking of like this industrial design with like packaging, like they were going to have to do their own, you know, because like that's another really cool part of the fashion industry is like how you package your products and, you know, how you present that. But no, it was just the Samsung TV.
It was a product. It was a
It
product.
could have also been like, how do you design your logo for your brand, your tag, your whole thing?
It could have gone anyway, but it led to the TV, which is a really cool U-shaped TV. It made me realize how old my TV is.
I know. Hey, send us some TVs, Samsung.
However-
We'll use them in the studio.
Yeah,
That'd be
The
awesome.
The challenge wasn't really about the TV at all.
Not really, except that they showed rain on the television. But I get it. They're trying to. They're reaching here a little
Well,
bit.
They got to
Flat
pay
screens.
for that show after 13 seasons.
Right.
Flat screen TV has been around, what, 8 or 9 years now? So they have to innovate it again.
Probably longer than that.
Okay, that's how long
For
I had.
people to afford them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny. Side tangent real quick. I used to do promotional tours and like tour manage stuff, and I did a tour for JVC, giving them a plug too, where we went around and we taught people how TVs worked. So that was probably like almost 10 years ago, and it was like the flat screen TVs. Anyway, okay, so we have this challenge. It's an avant-garde challenge with a twist, new, exciting Rainway. And this, from the beginning, from the previews weeks ago when we saw that this was coming, I was totally excited. I'm a big fan of the rain. I like the rain. I think the rain's romantic. I thought that there was a lot of opportunity that we could have with this. So initial reactions, ladies, I was pumped.
Initial reaction was like, oh my God, how are the models going to walk in the rain? If they've done it before in Fashion Week in Europe, but it's not that common and really out there in avant-garde to do a show that way. And I'm really excited that they pulled it off. But I was just thinking at first, like, okay, these models are good, but
Well, let me ask you about that. Do you think that they put any extra like grip or anything on the shoes, or do you think that they actually, because we don't see that part of it, but do you think that they...
There's something called scoring the bottom of your shoe, where they open up a pair of scissors and literally scrape the bottom both ways diagonally.
Well, and I'm sure since it was an Aldo challenge, or Aldo always is in there, they have those things that they sell at Aldo that you can put on the bottom of your heels.
The grips.
The little grips that are like concrete, like they look like black, like little concrete. But I'm sure they did something with they had to have done also something with the stage, because that run, the girl that was wearing Emily's outfit, she was walking like there was no rain. I mean, she just tore it up down.
Well, she's our favorite walker. We'll just say it right now.
I guess she is.
All right, cool. Well, so
my favorite.
So this challenge, they have $300. They have 30 minutes to sketch. They have some time at Mood, and then they have 2 days for this challenge, which was kind of awesome.
Finally,
it was really cute the way that Heidi actually, mocked Tim almost by introducing, impersonating Tim, how he was like, okay, designers, you have 30 minutes to sketch, and then we're going to go to Mood. Like, I thought that was, she's, we keep saying it every episode, she's super playful this season. Sassy and playful, and we love it, and we love Heidi. So then we go to Mood. Well, we see sketches, and first of all, for me, the first sketch that stood out was Keeney's sketch. The whole upside down umbrella idea, and I was just like, oh, it's cliche in a way. Not cliche, but when you think of rain, you think of umbrella, but it was almost too obvious that nobody else thought of it.
Yeah, yes. And unfortunately, I've actually seen something very similar designed by Project Runway alum Joshua J. Christensen. They did this red dress challenge at FITM once, and he has that exact dress, and it's in FITM. So I've seen that skirt before. So that's why I was like, I've already kind of seen the umbrella.
Well,
but
interesting.
Anyway, it was cool, and I liked the fabric choice that he made.
I like to believe that Keeney had not seen that before.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I don't think he's seen
No,
it,
I don't
but
think he had.
I was actually, if that's the case, I'm a little shocked that no one else had brought it up.
Well, no, because actually thinking about it, Joshua used that dress to get onto Project Runway. So it was in his very beginning, when they interview them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes they do like the before the show,
where they get interviewed,
and they show them. They actually showed that dress because it was like one of his big masterpieces at FITM.
Oh wow!
So Keeney might have been able to see that dress beforehand if he watched any of the Project Runways. I'm not saying he did.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just
this
saying
is an interesting thing
I've seen it.
to look for, but I do. It is interesting, and I do like, though, the way that he tied that skirt together with the rest of the look. He finished it off very nicely with the top and the hat.
We're not there yet.
Okay. I'm jumping ahead because I really like it.
Right. I think, and again, in, the sketching process, we see Sean right away has this idea that seems brilliant. He's a little bit nervous about the execution, but right away he's like, I want to make my dress actually do something. And we've seen this before. We've seen dresses transform a little bit. We've seen, what are you laughing?
I'm just thinking of, what was that crazy girl that had the dress that...
In the,
Natalia.
Under the gun?
Yes, under the gun, where it wheeled itself up.
I was thinking of the same thing. What was it? The steampunk challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was interesting to see what he was thinking. And, for me, one of the sketches that actually really stood out, and we see, later that execution and idea are two things that have to coincide. But when we saw a glimpse of Emily's sketch in Mood, I feel like we were kind of all excited. Were you guys excited about that?
I liked her fabric choice in Mood.
Ooh, I did like her fabric choice. I don't remember the sketch. The only sketch that I was really excited about was Karina's. Like this cool bird that she was going to make. I thought that would have been so neat. And then what we got was so disappointing.
Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, and then I guess too, in the beginning, the only other thing that really stood out that I feel like we talked about, and again, it's a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's a tangent that should be talked about. If not on this episode, we never will. Fad's choice of t-shirts. Do you think he has his own t-shirt line? Like, what's happening?
The statements on every shirt and the necklaces, and it's like, dude, you could just speak for yourself. You don't have to always have something written on your shirt.
Some people are graphic tee people, though.
But it's not... I get that if you want to voice your opinion and whatever... Like, I get the freedom of speech. I get all that. But it's just very... Like, somebody has to be making that. You know what I mean? Like, does he like a brand that much? For me, it's more of like, does he have a t-shirt company, or is he trying to promote a friend's t-shirt
Maybe he's
company?
promoting a friend's t-shirt
Like, there's
company.
something for me going on in the fact that all the t-shirts kind of have a similar message. They look similar. So I'm just wondering if there's some other cross promotion going on
Right,
there.
because I think with most of these reality shows, the people on the show aren't allowed to wear logos.
Right. So
that's
this might
not
be
a
like
logo.
a startup. Yeah, no, this
But-
totally makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Tiger Woods always wears his little Tiger Woods hat. So maybe he is promoting a friend. But-
Maybe something, or maybe it's his brand and that's why he's allowed to wear it. But there's something, I'm just curious, there's some branding going on there, because they're always very like shock. I feel like there's a shock value in some of the statements, because
Yes.
you always recognize it, I feel like.
And I think it's cool for people to express themselves. You know, it just seems to be very repetitive. Week to week, it's the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like there's some sort of collection brand. There's something else going on rather than it's just, you know, coincidence that all the t-shirts in the bag that he packed to go said the same thing.
It's kind of surprising in a way, because I feel like when you sign a release to go on a reality show, you say you're not going to wear something that promotes another brand. You're not going to wear the logo. You're not going to advertise anything on the show except for yourself and what you can bring to the show. So,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're allowed to wear things that they've made. So
Okay.
maybe he's made it. Anyway,
Okay.
if anyone knows Lisa Simpson rules, if you know, let
Shout
us
out.
know.
Yeah.
I think she might be our #1 fan, and we love you
For
for that.
sure.
We
Yeah.
love your comments. You should totally call in one night.
Call us.
Yeah, call in. We should arrange that. I'll write back and forth with you after this episode if you'd like to do that, because we really appreciate
Yes.
how you kind of go through and give your opinions on everything we say. So
and speaking of that, we love when all of you guys go and comment.
Yeah.
YouTube, rate us, iTunes, you know. Because, hey, we
Send
like
us
making
some
our
love.
little show.
yeah, send
And
a
we
little
love
love.
you guys.
So we see
fun.
Amanda's a little giggly tonight.
I am. This
I
is what
mean,
happens.
Virginia's giggly.
I'm giggly.
Yeah.
We're all giggly because we have our late night
They
show
were
now.
like crying in the other room
Yes, we'll get to that.
later. Yeah. So, and then we go to Mood. In Mood this time, it was actually, like we said, it was really neat. And I think the reason why, or something that added to it being actually entertaining in Mood, was because all the fabric was in one place. It wasn't just a scattered, like, it was kind of like, here's where the vinyl is. So everyone kind of migrated towards that, and we saw people interacting. We saw it all happening. So I know you want to say
I
something.
was surprised that no one went with neoprene. I thought that
But
would be a look.
with neoprene,
Yeah, that's like, it's a little difficult, I think.
well, and I think if you're getting rained on, isn't that going to make you like droopy and saggy as it gets wet
Or
and heavy?
yes, or it could be heavy and too hot. It's supposed to keep
Ooh.
you warm, right, when you go surfing in the cold ocean.
I mean, it
Yeah,
would've been
like
cool.
a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not. Yes, it keeps you warm. I've worn many wetsuits. It keeps you warm, but in a situation like this, I don't think that it would just propel the rain. There's not enough. It's like if you're submerged in
Propel
water,
the
repel.
rain. Oh, repel.
When you're submerged in water, like a little bit of water, like the idea is a tiny film of water gets in there, and then your body heats it up. So that's why they say, I mean, we're totally off topic again, but that's why like a lot of surfers like pee in their wetsuit because it keeps them warm if it's really cold. That's like the thing. Anyway, moving
Good
on.
to know.
Yeah. So that's why I think we didn't see that fabric choice, Amanda.
Okay.
So we have that. We have Tim come in. He starts, saying little odds and ends to people. And again,
Odds and ends.
he did. He always has his there's like always someone he really likes. There's always someone he really doesn't like. There's always the blank stare. It's just distributed differently.
That look of consternation.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome when they were talking about it. I mean, Amanda's pretty much was terrible. And he was like, this is definitely the season of vagina because she puts like a big red spot. Like, clearly that wasn't. And then she actually was the one that said it was terrible, not Tim. She's like, oh my God, that's terrible. She like realized it afterwards.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness is
She
correct.
didn't just say, no, I'm going to leave it like that, Tim. I like it there.
Yeah.
No.
And again, we see Sean, he's super risky in this challenge, and I really appreciate the risk. Like, I'm a very much a go big or go home type person, so I was very excited from the beginning about his. But what did you guys see in the workroom? What stood out for you guys?
I mean, that was my favorite. Just Sean being able to take that risk. And just knowing that, like, Keeney, you know, they have this whole buildup of Keeney not winning, even though he's been in the top. And, you know, like, you can see him, like, side-eyeing Sean, like, damn you, you're going to take another one of my wins. Because, I mean, it was so obvious that if it worked, he was going to win.
Right.
You know, so I love just seeing that in the workroom. But, yeah, I don't know. I just love seeing when Tim's look is confused, you know, he's like, how do I put this? And like, even with Zendaya, he was having that like, okay, what is this going on here? You know, but I love her because she's always like, you never know what she's going to do. It's always going to be a little crazy.
Yeah, but she usually knows what she's going to do. She's usually committed to what she's going to do regardless. She's like, no, it's going to work. She's got a confidence that I really appreciate. She's like, when Tim, who's kind of like, this is a little child, or she says childish, and he's like, thank you for saying that word, and a little circusy and clowny, and she's like, no, it's going to all come together. I'll be fine. So I really, you know, I like that she has that confidence, and you know, more so than not, it does come together for her.
Well, in the beginning episodes of this season, I was thinking, well, where's the excitement? Where's the designers in this season that are going to be like wowing the judges and wowing the audience at home? Because I was kind of like, okay. This episode, however, really was impressive. And I like that Keeney and Sean, they're pushing each other.
Right.
Because if they were on different seasons, of course, they would stand out a lot. But now they're standing out, but in a good way of like, healthy competition.
I agree with you. I really like that comment. I really agree with you. I also think that they would make a stellar team together. You know, because you know how they edited it, what they said is actually very true. Sean has all these brilliant ideas, and we see tonight that his construction, like, it does work, but you're not sure it's gonna work. And Keeney has this amazing technique, and he gets things done really quick, but it's kind of like, that's a good idea. Maybe it's been done before, maybe not, but it's almost there with the creativity. It's like he's kind of stuck to the, you know, you need this balance of like, no, let's do this, and the other one to be like, well, it will only work like this. Well, let's push it. Okay, but this has to work. You know, like, together they're kind of the ultimate.
Sean Keeney.
Yeah. Sheeny.
Instead of bikini, it's Sean Keeney. I like that. I like, because Keeney, he has like the technology behind it, the technique. Sean has the technique, but he's the more crazy, you know, out there, like, with the ideas. So
right.
You're exactly right. It would be a perfect pair.
Yeah.
Well, and then there was Fod.
Oh, and Fod. Oh.
I don't even know what to say.
Like, he chose the most boring color. I mean, I like gray, but like for an avant-garde challenge, you're really gonna do black and gray and white?
And it was just the saddest shape of a dress. And he started out by cutting apart an air conditioner filter.
I just didn't.
What was that?
I don't know. I didn't get it. And he didn't get it. We see at the end, he's like, I just wish it would have tied back into rain. Hello, that's the challenge.
They want it to be about the rain. It's a Rainway.
So, yeah.
It's not really about the TV, Sean. Sorry. Fod.
Yeah. So, you know, and again, we do see a little bit of Samsung, you know, product placement again with the refrigerator, which it was actually a really cool refrigerator. So props to Samsung. And then after the workroom,
I like how you say refrigerator.
What do you guys call it?
Refrigerator.
I call it fridge.
Refrigerator. Whatever. I'm from New York. Leave me alone. But then we see something tonight that I don't know that I've ever seen in another Project Runway, which maybe... Shut it, Virginia. They were all kind of having a drink over a 2-day challenge. They were all kind of hanging out, bonding a little bit, having a drink. Has that ever happened before? Did I miss that too?
I don't think it's happened quite like that, but that had to be staged because who has like little cheese and crackers in their fridge like that?
Definitely staged, but they were like, were they looking for someone to get drunk? Were they looking to cause more drama? Has it gotten boring for the producers? Like, why was that staged to happen?
Were they looking for someone to run through the streets again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They needed a Sandro moment.
Sandro.
We love you, Sandro.
Yeah.
We do.
I don't know. I mean, we had that other Kardashian moment the other day when they were just sitting on the rooftop with their glasses.
With their sunglasses and their glasses in their hand, just going...
Who knows?
Yeah, who does know? Okay, so then after that, the models come in. You know, I think they get to, you know, put some makeup on.
Okay.
Sorry.
They transported their...
No,
The
they
Rainway
transported
was at a
them.
different
Yes.
studio.
It was at a different studio, and they get to go on like a little bit of a tour, like a little bit of a bus ride to the studio, which is kind of interesting that for me, they clearly made it rain in one spot and it was protected. So why they had to go somewhere else was a little bit, I mean, I guess they couldn't pull it off.
It might have to do with Parsons just saying, no, we don't want you to do that here.
Yeah, maybe it'll mess up equipment or lighting or something.
Or like
Something
how
like
tall
that.
the roof was, you know, installing
Or
a
maybe there's a studio that they always have that there.
Right. And
Like Rihanna.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like
Umbrella,
music
Ella.
videos, shoot places. You don't know. We don't know.
okay.
It might be a well-known studio for a rain shoot inside. That's my thoughts on it. But you know what else? I really liked how I have to go back to the little party on the rooftop in the hotel. Oh my God, the apartment building. I can't talk. What I want to say is it was raining for real that night, and it's their rain challenge, and it was just perfect.
You never know if that was real. They could have just sprayed the window with a hose.
Steph,
But
you're
I'm
so
just
cynical.
I'm not. I'm
It
just
was really raining.
maybe it was. So anyway, we get to where the Rainway is going to happen. And before we have the Rainway show start, we have a little bit of the Aldo wall happening, and we have some makeup. And the makeup was interesting because I actually thought we were going to see a lot of runny makeup. I thought the makeup was going to play in this challenge, and we don't really see that. But speaking of makeup, I know last week we touched on the Birchbox and how awesome it was. In Virginia, I feel like you should actually take the reins because you actually get it, correct?
Yeah, I've actually become a subscription junkie, and so I love Birchbox. And you know, Philip B is like the hair and makeup that they're doing right now, and I actually got some in my Birchbox, so it was really nice.
What do you think about it?
I love it. I mean, it's really fun because once a month I get in the mail this cute little package. It's only $10, and it's all these beauty products. You know, like anything from little perfumes to, you know, mascara, lip gloss, nail polish,
Right.
and you know, so it's like a little treat for myself once a month. Because you never know what you're getting, you know, so it's like a present. You should send them. Oh, and you can send them to your girlfriends. It's really fun.
And then if you like it, can't you like go online on their website and get the full size
Yes.
at a discount?
Exactly.
That's really good because then you can test it out and you're like, I don't know, this doesn't work with my skin, but this makes my skin glow.
Exactly. Well, I think that's the biggest benefit is like I've become aware of so many products that I didn't use beforehand, and so you know now that I get them, I'm like, ooh, I have to have that.
You know what it's like? It's like a little goodie bag from a fashion show, but every month at your house.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think too. I'm pretty sure that there's a point system that you get with the different stuff that you do purchase. And actually, if you guys out there are listening, you should totally try this out. If you go on their site and you actually use the promo code AFTERBUZZ, I'm pretty sure you get hooked up with some points to start your little
100 extra points.
There you go. So you guys should all go subscribe, try it out, feel beautiful, get it done.
And if your friends are like, if you refer your friends and then they use your code, you get points for that too, and you get free boxes.
Ooh. Okay.
There it is. You heard it first.
Referral.
Yeah.
You heard it first here on AFTERBUZZ Project Runway. Birchbox is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, now moving into the runway.
Yeah.
We've got Happy Heidi. Heidi comes out super happy today. I love her. I love her.
I can't wait for this fashion
I
show.
want a hug from Heidi.
Who doesn't?
I did get I got that
Sure.
double kiss of death though when I was eliminated.
I'm a little jealous. Okay.
It was great. She's the sweetest. I don't mean death. I just mean 'cause
No,
you're not on the
I
show
know.
anymore.
How food is made.
Until the finale.
All right, so tonight's guest judge, we've got all the regulars, but tonight's guest judge, they say stylish star, an actress from Masters of Sex, Caitlin Fitzgerald.
And she's a fabulous guest judge.
You know what? I think she was one of, like, if not the best, one of my favorites.
At least
all
the
time.
best
You know what I'm
this
trying to
season for
say.
sure.
Yeah, she had some really good things to say, and we'll get into that.
We'll just say best episode ever.
I'm down.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to it. First,
I
we
wish
come
I was
out.
part of it. Oh, sad. Okay.
Let's get to it. So first we come out with Shar, and unfortunately, guys, we're having some technical difficulties in the studio, so we're not going to be able to put the photos up. But hopefully, we'll put them up on our website so you guys can see them. Usually, we only put up one or two, but maybe we can put up all of them tonight, just so that you guys can have it, you know, right there to reference. But we're still going to go down our runway rundown, and we're going to give our 3 comments, or quickly go over there, and then we'll go over the top and bottom a little bit more in depth.
It's time for the runway rundown. I'm so excited.
So we're going to start with Char. What you got, Amanda?
Shark Week Airlines. She looked like a stewardess with the little hat, and the outfit was like a shark fin.
Okay, what you got, Virginia?
Wow. Okay, I got Maleficent Maven because it reminded me of Maleficent when she builds all those branches.
I haven't seen it, but
I've seen Sleeping Beauty, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I've got Pointy Gaga. It's a little Pointy Gaga. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what you got for Zendaya?
Insane Clown Posse. Cirque du aluminum foil.
That's awesome.
I also put clown suit, and then I said, what planet is she from? I want to be there. Because her designs are so happy.
Yeah. Which is kind of interesting, real quick, that her design's so happy, but, in her portfolio, when we first met her, we got to see that it was because there's a lot of repressed stuff going on, that this is her way to, not bringing out the repress, you know what I mean? Like, this is her way to express herself and to be free through her design. So I think that's a really beautiful thing. I like her a lot. I've got Frumpy Clown. It was a little bit of a frumpy clown for me.
It was frumpy.
What do you got for Emily, Amanda?
Cocoon of shoulder pads. She's going to a swim meet. She's swim meet chic.
What you got, Virginia?
I just have that the model really was trying to sell it. She was one bad biatch.
Yeah.
I've got Robo-Frump.
Nice.
What do you have for Alexander?
Instead of a coat of many colors, it's a coat of one color. She's a deflated sea anemone.
What you got, Virginia?
I have my grandma's shower curtain and an oversized Ziploc bag.
I've got Purple Poncho-esque. What do you got for Fad, Amanda?
Push play on the subway and meet me at the rave, and that yellow dot, you are here.
What you got?
I'm so confused. I don't think avant-garde translated well, and it needs a fast forward button because it needs to go.
I like that. I've got confused. It stopped me at confused. I didn't get it. Amanda, what you got for Karina?
Karina, she's a metal lollipop. And she has so many mirrors on her body. Did you even bother to look at them before you left the house?
Whoa, what you got, Virginia?
I started out with, she looked like she's inside a metal pumpkin. And then when I saw the legs that were dangling, it looked like the tin cans in the back of a marriage car as it's leaving.
Ah, yeah. I got What in the World? And it was very alien-esque for me. I feel like it was it was a swing and a miss. What do you have for Amanda, Amanda?
Amanda's dress needs an eye lift.
What you got, Virginia?
I thought it was a cross between a weird eye of some sort with the Stanford tree mascot.
I've got, it looks like a totem pole.
Yes, but what is the Stanford tree mascot?
Have you ever seen like a Stanford football game? Their mascot is a tree.
It is.
Yeah, like they're cardinal, but their mascot is actually a tree. And every year, the person that is the tree makes their costume. So every year it's a different tree. And it looks like she made it, but in her own hippie way.
Okay.
Yeah, never seen it. But,
Sorry,
but
Brian,
I like
Brian went to Stanford. That's why.
I like
my husband went to Stanford.
Woo!
He's so smart.
He is.
He really is. I do love him a lot. That's why I can bust his chops. What you got, Amanda Fakini?
It looks like it was a garbage bag challenge or something. It's very like shiny, but in the wrong way. But also it's like under my umbrella, Ella, A.
There was nothing underneath the umbrella.
No.
She was the umbrella, but that was okay.
She should have had a hook coming out. What you got, Virginia?
I just sang the hook.
I put Lady Gaga meets Wicked Witch. Because she was like all... I don't know. I watched
love
a lot
that
of
Gaga comes out a lot. I actually love the upside down umbrella, but I thought the hat should have been way bigger. It was like, go big or go home.
That's what I was thinking. It should have been like the biggest hat ever.
He sketched it big. It should have been like an umbrella hat. Oh, shit. All right, what you got for Sean, Amanda?
They would have said that was too literal.
What you got for Sean?
It's a spring awakening. Ah, the flowers are blooming. Literally, it looks like an impressionist painting.
What you got, Virginia?
I didn't write anything. I was just I was so in awe of the dress.
You know, if we were allowed to curse on this show, I would be dropping an F-bomb, and followed by that would be awesome.
Yeah.
It was like so awesome.
A transformer.
And you know what was one of the best parts about this was Heidi's smile. They like cut to Heidi smiling. She smiled. She lit up. She was like, holy crap, I'm creating a space for designers to play around, to find themselves, to be risky like this, and look at what happened. So
it was definitely the highlight of I feel like the whole season,
so
if not
far,
many
yes.
seasons we've seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what I feel like Project Runway is about. Like finding those people that are innovators that can think like that.
Exactly.
Not just like I put a play button on the boob because I didn't know what else to do.
It would have been better if there was one on each boob. Stop and play.
Or tunes.
I actually like that.
Tune in Tokyo. So we've got on the top, we've got Kini, Zendaya, and Sean, and on the bottom we've got Karina, Fod, and Emily. And you know, I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me, but I kind of feel like when you have immunity, you shouldn't be in the bottom three. Like somebody else should be there. Like I feel like once your outfit walks, if you have immunity, you're gone.
They should just make her in the safe group, right?
Right. Like I mean, in the same sense, I kind of do like that they're like, if you didn't have immunity, you'd probably be going home. But in that, clearly she's not going home, so it's really the bottom two. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of doesn't align.
So the people that were safe were Amanda Alexander and Zendaya. No, Zendaya was in the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should keep her in the bottom because they need to tell her, like, you sucked this time. And
but they can
it makes
say
me
that.
happy because they say this is the best challenge ever, and you sucked.
That's true. Yeah. Well,
because if not, then she would have just thought, I did okay.
Nina, okay.
No, all right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I kind of agree with you. Okay, so we see, sadly, Fod gets told that he is out. Yeah, I mean,
not surprising this week though.
No,
it wasn't surprising. You know, he had a emotional phone call to his husband, so I feel like that was a lead up when he's like, I think I'm coming home soon.
But
you know,
his dress just didn't make any sense with what they asked him to do.
I feel like he was just burned out.
Yeah,
like,
I feel, that's what I'm saying. Like he in his conversation, I feel like he was kind of over it. He kind of was at his wit's end. He wasn't feeling creative. I feel like there was a lot going on for him. So it's kind of like he just timed out, really.
Does he have other designs besides women's wear, like maybe the
like
t-shirts?
A t-shirt company
that he's wearing?
I think he always has good choices though with print, and you know, he's had some interesting pieces along the way.
That's true, but I don't know. I feel like he's been lucky to be around as long as he has.
Played out. Oh, that play button.
Yeah, that just happened.
And in the top, we've got Kini, Zendaya, and Sean. And I don't know how you guys feel about this. First off, they come out and they say that Zendaya is in, that it's fun, it's happy, it's circus. Zach was dancing, it was awesome. And then we go to Sean, and we're told that Sean's the winner. And it was great, and it was all this, and we were all like, yes, like I feel like we all
deserves it.
Yes.
And did we even talk about what happens with his dress? Because we talked about what it looks like and our description of how we feel, but it's a white dress that he put dye inside of the seams, and when the model walked out, when the rain came down, the dye, like, tie-dyed the white dress yellow and red.
It was perfect execution. She spun around, the dye spread throughout the garment, just reacting with the rain. It was brilliant.
And he had a good choice of color too with the dress.
Yeah, he said he wanted it to look like sunshine in the rain.
Yeah.
And
I think it could have been cool with a blue too, like a blue and purple or something, like rain.
Yellow with blue, and it could have been green where they meet.
Yeah, that might have got muddy though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think so. He did choose.
I think he had a good color.
Mostly yellow.
Yeah. But then, so for me, and I want to know how you guys feel about this too. So after we're told that Sean's the winner, we're also told that Kini's the winner.
Yeah, he was not the winner. I'm sorry. I feel like it was just...
They always say one of you will be the winner and one of you will be out.
Yeah, very rarely do they have two winners, and I feel like this was just like a... I don't know. It wasn't a real win. Come
we
on.
feel bad for you, Keeney, because Sean keeps trumping you every time.
Yeah, and I mean, they were saying it was a great choice. I mean, a couple people said it was a little like S&M-like. It was, you know, it was dramatic. It was sublime. Like, he got all good comments. But by far, Sean's risk, creativity, execution blew it away.
Yes.
And the crazy thing for me is because they're not winning immunity anymore. So just like there was no point in having to have two winners.
We'll just hand out another winner. Okay?
Yeah,
because they're not really getting anything.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why they did it, because they were like, yeah, we'll just throw him a win.
Because I
Throw him a
don't know.
bone.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like.
Well, also,
There was things to take away from Keeney's, like his hat was clearly, the proportion was not good. There was other, you know, Sean's, there was nothing to take away.
I think Keeney was also trying a little bit too hard to be like other designers, like we mentioned. Like, it kind of was a Joshua Christensen reference. The top half, the shirt actually reminds me of something Christian Siriano sent down the runway in the finale in his season.
Yeah,
right.
It kind of is like he's trying to win Project Runway based on what other people did that were really good at Project Runway.
And I feel like from this moment forward, there's always going to be that, holy crap, remember when Sean sent down that dress that bled and it was awesome in the Rainway? Like... It's good. That's what's going to be said. Not. Do you remember Keeney's upside down umbrella that kind of worked, but the hat was a little bit small, but he was a crybaby, so he finally got a win. You know what I mean?
No one's going to care about it next week, even.
No, but everyone will remember Sean's.
I feel bad for Sean. It's like, dude, you guys don't have to feel bad for rewarding good talent over and over. If it's the same person, it's the same person, and that can be the drama in itself.
Right. So anyway, all in all, that about wraps up the episode. I feel like we're all in agreement that tonight's episode was super awesome.
Awesome.
So entertaining and fun and fresh.
Yeah. And we had a really good guest judge tonight. Caitlin was awesome.
I really liked what she had to say about why Karina's dress didn't work. I thought she was very thoughtful in her comments about how it looked more like a costume. She was educated,
yeah.
Yes, a lot of these looks went to the costume side instead of fashion.
Right.
I thought.
Yeah, a few did, yeah.
And I know avant-garde is supposed to be risky and different, and it can have elements that can maybe be in costumes as well, but it's supposed to be a clear line in between.
Yeah. And I feel like at the end of the show, too, we had Tim come in, which I feel like the intention was amazing, but it was a little bit of a sucker punch, or I saw it as that, where he was like, by far, this is the best runway show ever. But then it's like, Fad's got to be like, this is the best runway show ever, and I sucked at it. You know what I mean? So it was,
and so Karina, did you, Karina.
Yeah.
You put your model in a bird cage. Let her fly free.
A really awful, like, Mylar balloon bird cage.
And she was even telling the model backstage, well, it's actually just tape, so if it starts coming apart, just stick it back together.
Just tape it back on.
It's fine.
We have to mention real quick, too, that one of Amanda's eyes fell off. And it was funny, because as it was walking towards us, I was like, wait, it's not... It's not the same on both sides. And then when she was like, oh my God, the eye was falling, I was like, oh, that's why, because it fell off.
How does that happen? So was it taped? Because
glued, maybe. We saw some glue in the workroom.
Everybody was gluing.
Yeah, and they had 2 days, whatever.
It's like glue in the rain, guys. Come on.
So then we have a preview for next week, and pretty much it's going to be an some way the American Doll is put
American
into this
Girl Dolls
American
from the
Girl
Pleasant Company.
Apparently somebody's had one.
I had Molly when I was a kid.
I had Cabbage Patch Kids.
I actually had Cabbage Patch Kids too.
Molly, the American Girl.
Did you do like?
I read the books.
Did you do the breakfast?
I had the
like with your mom?
Outfits. No, we didn't.
Wait, you wore a matching outfit with your doll?
Yes.
Oh, that explains it.
I should find the picture. That explains what?
Yeah, I love you, Amanda.
My whole personality.
No, I love you. If you could find that picture, you should totally bring it next week. I would love to see it.
I even had the matching pajama set.
It's kind of amazing. All right, cool. That about wraps up our episodes. Anything else that you guys want to touch on before we go?
No.
Favorite episode in a long time. We've already said that, but it's true.
Yeah, it's really true. We actually have something exciting too next week that maybe we'll bring some pictures of. Amanda's going to be in a show for Nick
Barrios.
It's in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yes.
it's in 2 weeks. Sorry.
So it will be September 20th. It's in Orange County. So the following week on the show, we can talk about it.
We can talk about it. But we're excited. Amanda's invited us to go. So we're really excited to see you walk.
Yes,
Strut your
yes.
stuff, girl.
That's right. Nick
Amanda's
Barrios, winning mentor from Under the Gun.
Yeah.
He's going to show his collection in Orange County at the Fashion Island.
And Amanda's going to teach me how to walk on a runway.
I will.
It's going to happen. All right, cool,
should.
guys. Thanks for watching. I think that about anything else before we go?
We love you guys. Please keep commenting. We love to hear it. And we
Yeah.
love Project Runway.
Yeah, and we definitely should get Lisa Simpson rolls in for the runway rundown. You should be giving little three-liners
Yeah, we
too.
would love your comments. Like I said, I'll be in touch with you. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IAMSTEF. Where can the viewers find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Virginia Reyna.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Runway Queen.
Sweet. All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you for watching, listening.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.